Hello, everybody. Welcome to Game 4 of the National League Championship Series 1993 in replay baseball. The Phillies hold a 2-game-to-1 lead, so obviously San Francisco important to win this, not to go down 3-1. However, if the Phillies lose this game and it evens at 2-2, then advantage goes to the Giants because they do have Bill Swift going in Game 5. Starters in Game 4. Scott Sanderson for the Giants. He was a midseason acquisition from the California Angels. And going for the Phillies, it'll be left-hander Danny Jackson. There you see the starting lineups and the bullpens and the benches. I've got the game up on the computer, so I'm going to roll the dice and input the thing on the computer and let the computer make sure I don't make any mistakes. So leading off for the Philadelphia Phillies will be Nails Lenny Dykstra. And he'll start things off against Scott Sanderson. From Candlestick, 254. 254. 25 is a 50. 24 is a 4. Total of 54. And that's a ground ball to second base, and there's one away. As Robbie Thompson takes care of Dykstra. One down, and that brings up second baseman Mickey Morandini. We get a 5-2-6. 5-2 is a 27, but that's usually a fly out. 5-6 is a 2, total of 29. That's a fly to center field, and that is 2 down. The reason I knew it was a fly out is because 27 in column 5 typically has the little caret signs for sacrifice flies, so ergo, if you see a 27, it's a fly out. So I'll bring up John. I am not a crook. 2 outs and the base is clear. Sanderson, 5-4-6. 5-4 is a 4D, so if he reaches, we'll go to action chart D. 5-6 is a 2, total of 6, and that is a walk. So John Crook draws a 2-out walk, and we will go to said action chart D. So action chart D talks about stolen bases, caught stealings, that sort of thing. We get a 3, and that is a pickoff error with an asterisk there. Let's see here. Possible error on a pickoff attempt. Roll against pitcher's error rating. If roll is higher, all runs advance. If not higher, runner gets back safely, no error. However, since there's an asterisk, the added part of the asterisk is it's same as above, but if there's no error, you roll for a possible pickoff. So, the error chance on Scott Sanderson is a 42. And we get a 15. So let's put that into the computer here. So it doesn't, so make sure I don't screw anything up. It's not higher, there's no error. Now we're going to attempt to pick off. Now the hold rating on Sanderson is a 4. So let's see if we get a pickoff or not. We roll a 6. And runner is back safely. It had to be a 1-4 to be a pickoff. So in that instance, much ado about nothing. It is simply everybody gets back safely, or Crook gets back safely, I should say. So 2 down, and that brings up the third baseman, Dave Hollins. Hollins, third baseman. 4-2-4. 4-2 is an 18. 4-4 is a shortstop. Clayton, he's a 2. That is a 20. So when you get a 20, it means we go to the umpire chart. And the umpire chart, for those that have not seen it before, on a 20, then there are 2 chances to be safe. On a 20, you're safe on a 1 or a 6. Everything else you're out. On a 21, it's the exact opposite. But we rolled a 20 because we had rolled an 18 on the batter card. Clayton's a 2, makes it a 20. So a 1-6, and he's safe. Anything else, he's out. 6, he is safe. How about that? He beats it out for an infield hit. So Dave Hollins. Clayton was able to knock it down, but could not get anybody out. It's going to go as an infield hit for Dave Hollins. So runners are now at first and second with 2 down for Darren Dalton. Dutch, the catcher. Darren Dalton. Sure it didn't mess up the focus any. Okay. Sanderson to Dalton. 5-5-6. Back in that column 5, that's a 20. 5-6 is a 2, total 22, and that's going to be a walk. And the bases will be loaded. Bases are loaded. Now it says go to action chart M, and we will, because M talks about potentially pickoffs, balks, and so forth. So we'll roll the dice on action chart M, and we get a 7. 7 says wild pitch, and the blue die is a 2. All right, if blue die is higher than wild pitch rating, it's a wild pitch. Sanderson's wild pitch rating is a 5, so that's a 2. There's no wild pitch. Everybody stays where they are. So bases are loaded. 2 down for Jim Eisenreich. A walk, an infield single, and another walk. Has loaded the bases after the first 2 are out with no problem. Sanderson finds himself in a quandary. Bases loaded, 2 down. And now he's got to deal with Jim Eisenreich, a .318 hitter. 2-3-3. 2-3 is a 50. 2-3 is a 4. That's a 54. And 54 is a ground out to second base. And that's going to end the inning. So the Phillies leave them loaded. And Sanderson pitches out of a hot mess. They leave them loaded. We go to the bottom of the first. No score from Candlestick. Phillies may regret leaving the runners on base like that. Danny Jackson now out to finish his warm-up tosses, and he'll be facing center fielder Darren Lewis to lead things off for the G-men. 4-5-4. 4-5 is an 11. That's going to be an error check. 4-4 is the shortstop. And that is, shortstop is Kevin Stocker. We'll check Stocker's error rating. Stocker, his error rating is a 36. So if we roll higher than 36, it will be an error. We do. It's a 61. So it is an error. E6 on Mr. Stocker. And aboard is Mr. Darren Lewis on the E6. And now that'll put the infield at halfway for Robbie Thompson. Do an automated steal, so there was no plus or asterisk on that result, so we're not going to have a steal attempt. Here's Robbie Thompson. 4-5-4. Another fielding check. 4-5 again is an error check, and the 4 again is on Stocker. So we're right back to it again on Stocker. And again, he is a 36, as we saw before. So Stocker could make back-to-back errors, and he does. He makes back-to-back errors. Unbelievable, but it is true. Back-to-back errors on Kevin Stocker, and runners are at first and second to start the inning. I don't think I've ever had a game where the shortstop, or the same player rather, has made back-to-back errors to start the game, but there we are. And now here's Will the Thrill, and Danny Jackson's kind of giving a look over to Stocker like, what the hell's going on? Here's Clark. 3-4, and that is a possible rare play when you get that 57. So we're going to roll to see if it's even, odd, whatnot. It's a 1, so we're going to the Candlestick Park section. And on Candlestick Park, we look at the foul ball territory. It says everything's going to be a foul out. So it doesn't really matter. Everything is a foul out here. And it's going to be a foul out. And they're showing that it is to the catcher. So they're going to foul out to Dutch Dalton. 1 away. Will Clark upset with himself for getting under that one. And that brings up Matt Williams. Double play still gets Danny Jackson out of the inning. We had a 3-1-4. 3-1 is a 13. 3-4 is a 3. Total of 16. That's a triple to center field for Matt Williams. And the Giants take a 2-0 lead. And those 2 walks come home to roost. I'm sorry, those 2 errors come home to roost, rather. And that's 2 unearned runs on the triple by Matt Williams. Giants looking to even this series. They're not messing around. Infield actually is going to play in with 1 out. Here's Barry Bonds. 6-3-5. 6-3 is a 16. 6-5 is a 2, total of 18. That's a deep fly out to left, which is deep enough to score the run. Sacrifice fly. And it is 3-0. Giants here in the bottom of the first. That run, all the runs are unearned against Danny Jackson, but they still count on the board. It's 3-0. And that brings up Dave Martinez. He is playing for the injured Willie McGee. 1-6-6, that's a 45, so that's a strikeout with the bases empty to end the inning. But a 3 spot for the G-men. And they came to play tonight, and they are leading at 3-0 after 1 complete. Or maybe it's just say Phillies or Kevin Stocker did not come to play. So all the runs were unearned. Can't blame Danny Jackson, not his fault. All right, here is Milt Thompson to lead it off. 6-4-1. 6-4 is a 21. 6-1 is a 1, total of 22. That's a single to left field for Milt Thompson. He has a chance to extend it to an extra base. So I'll show that in the chart real quick. When you get a 22, which is what we had, it's a long single to the outfield. You can do 1 to 4. It's going to be a double. If the red die, you roll the red and white dice. If the red die is a 5, he's safe if the white die is not higher than his speed. And 6, if you roll 6, he's safe if the white die is higher than the outfielder's arm. So basically a 1 to 4 is going to be safe with a double. So they're going to go ahead and try it and hope he rolls a 1 to 4. He does. So it's a double. He actually extends that to a double, stretches it to a double as Bonds was a little slow to get over there. And Thompson, a leadoff double to start the top of the second, and back come the Phillies. And here comes Kevin Stocker, trying to atone for those 2 errors. And he's up there to face Mr. Sanderson. We had a 3-5-5. .355 for Stocker is in the ballpark region. So we go to the ballpark card, Candlestick Park. He is a switch hitter batting left-handed. Column 3 is down here. Really doesn't matter what side of the plate he's hitting from. Right now that's a 3, but this can change based on what we roll here. The blue die is a 5, which means that's a 4 for Sanderson. So whatever we get, we're going to add 4 to it. And if the total number is a 7 or higher, it's a base hit. Right now it is a 7, but if it drops below, if this drops to a 2 or a 1, it will take away the hit. So we'll see what we get. We get a 1, so that's going to drop this to a 1. So a grand total there of 5 in column 3. That's a short fly to left field for 1 away. So that time Candlestick Park took things away. 1 down. And Danny Jackson, the batter. His PDF pitcher hitting card, 077 was his average. 3-6, that's a left-right split. He actually, even though he pitches left-handed, he throws right-handed. So right-hander versus right-hander, that's a liner to short. And with a runner at second, it could be a double play. Very possibly could be a double play. So let's see if it's going to be a double play or not. No, there are 2 outs now. It actually is a double play. Says in the chart it is a double play. With runner on second, less 2 outs, possible double play. Roll 1 die against the shortstop defense. The computer kind of did that for me ahead of time. I like to do it myself, to be quite honest with you. So Clayton, let's look at his defense. He is a 2. And it says that if the die is higher, the runner's doubled off. All right, it's 4, so he is doubled off. So computer kind of, sort of like the Strat-Mag computer. Sometimes they will make those secondary rolls automatically before you even have a chance. But this time it was a double play. L6 and 6 unassisted double play to end the inning. So we look promising for the Phils. Turns out to be nothing. And we go to the bottom of the second. Still 3-0 favor of the G-men. And Royce Clayton, who made that nice double play, will lead off the inning against Jackson. 1-2-4. 1-2 is a 35. 1-4 is a 3. Total of 38. That's a ground ball to third. Hollins makes the play. And there's one away. For Kurt, what was that man wearing? 5-3-5. 5-3 is a 7. 5-5 is a 4. Total of 11 in column 5. And that is a hit by pitch. So he gets plunked. Manwaring gets plunked. Not too happy about it, but he's there. And that'll bring up Scott Sanderson using pitcher hitting card number 1. Sanderson, with 1 out, could bunt. I like to go to have him swing away, though. The infield corners are in, but they're going to play. They're going to swing away and try to fool him. 5-2-3. 5-2 is a 32. 5-3 is a 3. Total of 35. That is a strikeout. So out on strikes for out number 2. And that'll send up Darren Lewis. Lewis reached on the air and scored. First time up. 4-5-6. 4-5 is an 11. Another possible error. 4-6 is the second baseman. Second baseman in this case is Morandini. And Morandini's error rating is a 62. 35, he will make the play. So he will make the play, and that will end the inning. So Giants get nothing in the second, and at the end of 2, it's 3-0. And yes, I'm just kind of trying to get myself back in the groove of things after being away for a while. So if it's not as smooth as it usually is, that's the reason. All right, Lenny Dykstra leads things off here in the top of the third. Sanderson, 3-4 again. It's another rare play chance with that 57. So we're going to roll and see what we get. We get a 1 again, and that means it will be a foul out because in Candlestick they have such wide foul territory, everybody's going to be out. And it's a 5, so let's see how they play that. And let's see what number we use for that. So it's going to foul out to third. So he fouls out to Matt Williams at third base. 1 away. Really doesn't matter. I'm not keeping defensive statistics. Out's all we're caring about at the moment. Morandini. 3-3-1. 3-3 is a 70. 3-1 is a 2, total of 72. That's a triple into the gap. You don't see many guys with 70s except guys who get a lot of triples, or at least have several triples on their card. And Morandini has just done so. So Morandini, a 1-out triple. Second triple of the game, had a triple from Matt Williams. And now we get one from Morandini. Bring up John Kruk. Giants with a 3-0 lead will play the infield back to avoid a big inning. Give up the run to get the out. 1-3-1. 1-3 is a 30. 1-1 is a 3. Total of 33. That's a walk. So base on balls. Issue to John Kruk. Puts runners at the corners. Now the infield will be halfway, trying to turn the double play for Dave Hollins, who is the tying run now. 5-6-5. 5-6 is a 5. 5-5 is a 1. Total of 6. And it will be a base on balls to load the bases. So the bases are now loaded. Bases are now loaded. After the triple, we have back-to-back walks. And it brings up Dutch Dalton. 4-2-6. 4-2 is an 18. 4-6 is second baseman, Robbie Thompson. He's a 1. That's a total of 19. That's going to be off the glove with the infield halfway. It is off the glove for a base hit. Everybody moves up one base. The run scores. Phillies are on the board. RBI single, infield single from Darren Dalton. Morandini scores. Kruk to third. Hollins to second. It's a 3-1 game. And that'll bring up I think I might have batted Dalton and Hollins out of order. I'm not sure. We're going to let it go. All right, here's Eisenreich. 2-4-3. There's a raised number, which is a 4. The 3 lends us to the center fielder, Darren Lewis. He is a forward, not greater than the 4, so that's going to drop in for a double. And all 3 runs will come in to score for the Phillies. And the Phillies now have taken the lead 4-3 over the Giants. Just like that, just exploded here off of Scott Sanderson. And now the Giant bullpen might start to move around out there. Still only 1 out for Milt Thompson. 5-3-2. 5-3 is a 6 with an asterisk. 5-2 is a 1. That is a total of 7 for a walk. But he does have this control number of 5. So if we roll 5 or less, it will change to a 2-ball count. We roll a 6. That's the way it's going for Scott Sanderson. It will be a walk. Only thing that could cause a walk was a 6, and that's what we got. And like I said, the bullpen for the Giants is in full board, and Sanderson may not be around much longer. Here's Kevin Stocker. 3-2-6. 3-2 is an 11. 3-6 is a 4. Total of 15. And that is a line out to second for out number 2. Everybody gets back. No double play of any kind. So Stocker is out. 2 down for Danny Jackson. Infield back to normal. (2-5-1). 2-5 is a 1. 2-1 is a 4. Total of 5. That is a strikeout, and a rare strikeout in this game. Only the second one in the game. Both pitchers struck out, but other than that, nobody else has. But the Phillies didn't strike out. They pick up 4 runs here in the top of the 3rd inning. And they have really silenced this Candlestick Park crowd. That 3-0 lead dissipated pretty quickly. And the happiest guy out there is probably Kevin Stocker, because his 2 errors certainly put them behind the 8 ball. But now they've got second wind and a chance to get something done. So, Danny Jackson with new life and a new lead of 4-3 is out. And he'll be facing Thompson, Clark, and Williams, 2, 3, and 4, heart of the order for the Giants as they try to turn the trick on the Phillies as well. You're in game 4, so you're not getting the top line pitchers, so you're going to get runs scored. And you just have to hope you score more than the other guy. Here's Thompson. Four, 3-3. 4-3 is 2. 4-3 is the third baseman. That's an easy play for Hollins, and there's one away. Thompson is retired. 5-3. One down for Will Clark. 4-6-5. 4-6 is a 19. 4-5 is a shortstop. That is Stocker. Stocker is a 2. So that's a 21, and we've seen before on the umpire chart, a 21. 1 or 6, he's out. Anything else, he'll be safe. He is going to be safe, so it's an infield single for Will Clark. Will Clark with the infield single. Infield single for Will Clark. And that'll send up Matt Williams. Infield double play depth with 1 out. Williams tripled his 2-run triple his last time up. 1-6-6, and that's a potential double play. You get that 45 with the infield halfway. So 1-6-6. Ground ball back to the mound. Come back to the pitcher. Roll against the pitcher's defensive rating. He's a 3, is Danny Jackson. So higher than a 3. And we got a double play. Lower than a 3. And it's just a force. That's a 1, so not higher. So it will be a force play. The batter beats the relay. Williams does beat the relay. It's going to go as a 1-6 fielder's choice. 2 down for Barry Bonds. 1-4-1. 1-4 is a 35. 1-1 is a 3. Total of 38. It's a ground ball to third, and that will be the end of the inning as Hollins takes care of it. And 3 innings are in the books here at Candlestick. It is the Phillies 4 and the Giants 3. Phillies looking to take a 3-1 edge in the best-of-7 series. Game 5 starters will be the repeat of Game 1 starters. It'll be Bill Swift for the Giants and Mr. Schilling for the Phillies. All right, Dykstra is up now. The question is, do you stick with Sanderson? Boy, a tough call. You know what? They're going to pull Sanderson. Giants are going to the bullpen. They're going to go to a left-hander out of the pen. With the lefties coming up, they're going with Brian Hickerson, a lefty specialist. So Hickerson will be on to pitch. There's not going to be any double switches. We're just going to have Hickerson coming in pitch. That's going to be all there is to it. He is on to face Dykstra. 5-6-2. 5-6 is a 5. 5-2 against a lefty is a 1. Total of 6. But he's got a raised eye of 3. So if we roll a 3 or less, this will be a 2-ball count. 4 or higher, it's a walk. It's a 4, so it will be a walk. Lenny Dykstra will go ahead and draw that base on balls despite Hickerson's best effort. It will be a walk. And Dykstra is aboard. Brings up Mickey Morandini. Three-3-6. 3-3 again is at 70. Morandini's going to hit another triple. He found that 70 once again, and that is an RBI triple for Mickey Morandini. Boy, How many times can you find the same roll twice? And he just did it back-to-back jacks. Not a jack, but a triple. He found that 70 for the second consecutive time. The Phillies now lead at 5-3, and the infield's going to have to come in. They have no choice. Here's John Kruk. Hickerson not doing well against the lefties, or anybody for that matter. 2-6, and that's in the ballpark area. 2-6-2. 2 is going to be a 4. So he's going to have a 4 right here, but that really is irrelevant. The 2 that's relevant is the outfield positioning, which is left fielder Barry Bonds. So we need to check Barry Bonds' range. Barry Bonds' range in left field is a 5, best you can have. Right now this is a 4. The only way this becomes a base hit if it changes to a 5. The only way that happens, actually it can't happen. In Candlestick it's not going to be able to happen because 4 is the highest you can get to. So we'll roll anyway just for posterity's sake. We rolled a 6, but it's going to stay a 4. So Barry Bonds will make this catch in left field. The question is it a sacrifice fly? Because you do have the runner on third. It is out number 1, but is it a sacrifice fly in that instance? Let's see here on the chart. To fly out, runners on second and third advance 1 base if their speed is higher than the outfielder's arm. Okay. Look at the speed of Mickey Morandini. His speed is a 4. The outfielder arm, Barry Bonds, his outfielder arm is a 4. It's not higher, it's the same. So he cannot advance. He has to hold at third base. So that fly ball was not quite deep enough. And Morandini will have to stay at first base, or third base rather, with 1 out. And that brings up Dave Hollins. Now, do you stick with, I guess you're going to stick with Hickerson. 1-6 is a, now the infield's in, so it's different than that double play combination because the infield is in. So let's move the infield in. And the result is a 1-6-1. And that's actually a strikeout because there's not the infield wasn't halfway, so it's a strikeout. Not bad on that. Forgot about that. It's only a double play chance when there's infield's halfway. But with the infield back or in either one, anything other than halfway, it's a strikeout. So that's out number 2. And that brings up Dutch Dalton. Hickerson has a chance to get out of this by getting Dalton. 1-3. He might do it. 1-3-6. So 1-3 is a 30. 1-6 is a 5. Total of 35. It's actually a walk, so he won't get out of it. Dalton gets the base hit, or not the base hit, but reaches on base with a base on balls. And that brings up Eisenreich, yet another lefty. But they're not going to pull Eisenreich because they like his defense. So they're going to leave him in there to face the lefty Hickerson. 3-2-3. 3-2 is a 2. 3-3 is a 3 against a lefty. Total of 5, and that is a fly out to left field to end the inning. Had he been facing a righty, that would have been a 4 there. Well, it still would have been an out, but it would have been a higher number. But Hickerson pitches out of all that mess, only allowing the 1 run. Could have been a lot worse. But right now it is the Phillies 5 and the Giants 3. That's all for Hickerson. His night is done. Danny Jackson back out. Now protecting a 5-3 lead. Facing Dave Martinez, Royce Clayton, and Kurt Manwaring. If anybody reaches, they'll pinch hit for Hickerson. 4-1-6. 4-1 is an 18. 4-6 is the second baseman, Morandini. And let's see here. Morandini is a defensive rating of 2. So get the 18 to 2. It's a 20, which again is the umpire chart. And again, a 1-6, he's safe. Anything else, he's out. It's a 4, he's going to be out of there. So nice play by Morandini to get Martinez 1 away. So 1 down for Royce Clayton. 1-6-2, and with the infield back, that's a strikeout. That 45 becomes a strikeout. So 2 up, 2 down for Kurt Manwaring. 2-4-5 for Manwaring. 2-4 is a 55 with a 3 on it. That's static. It does not change. The 5 is the right fielder Eisenreich, and Eisenreich range in right field is a 5, so he'll well cover that 3 to end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down go the Giants. They did not get to the pitcher spot, but it doesn't matter. They're still going to take Hickerson out of there, I do believe. So let's see who they're going to come in with. And we might get a double switch now, actually. Let's see here. They're going to bring on... Who do they want to bring on? Benzinger, maybe? No. No, they're not going to do Benzinger. Maybe they won't do a double switch. Check that. They will not do a double switch because actually Mark Carrion, even though I got him printed here, he was injured for 1 game, so he is not available. The Giants are actually going 1 man short in this one, so they're not going to double switch. They're just going to bring in a pitcher for 1 inning, and that pitcher is going to be Jeff Brantley. So he will come in and pitch this inning, trying to keep the Phillies where they are. So Brantley is on to pitch. And he'll be facing Milt Thompson. 1-1-6. That's going to be a base hit. That's a 10. 1-6 is a 3, a total of 13. That is a single up the middle for Milt Thompson. So Thompson gets a leadoff single. And that'll bring up Kevin Stocker. Infield now back for double play. Danny Jackson, the pitcher, on deck. Brantley, 6-4-4. 6-4 is a 41. 6-4, there's a 4, total of 45, and that is a hit to center field. Single and a chance for extra bases based on the outfielder's arm. Darren Lewis is a 4, and we're going to roll 1 die and see if we get higher or 4. And let's see. It's going to be a single, so runners are at first and third. First and third. So first and third with nobody out. Tough spot here to be in. Back-to-back base hits. And now you got the pitcher, Danny Jackson, up there. Not a good bunter. Actually is a good bunter, but do they really? They're just going to have to swing away. Actually, infield's going to play in. 6-1 is a 36. That is a strikeout. And Phillies probably don't mind that because that avoids a double play. So 1 away. Now the infield's halfway for the double play with the 1 out. And Lenny Dykstra, your batter. 6-1-4. 6-1 is a 16. 6-4 is a 4 for a 20. And that is a sacrifice fly to right field. That is going to bring home the run. Lenny Dykstra, sacrifice fly, will bring home Thompson. It is now 6-3 Phillies, with now 2 outs, and Mickey Morandini, your batter. 4-4 is an 18. 4-5 is the shortstop, Stocker, who's a 2. So again, we're at that outfield or the umpire chart. 1 to 6, he's 1 or a 6, he's safe. 2 through 5, he is out. That is a 3. He is going to be out of there. So a ground ball to short will take care of the rest of the inning, but The run comes in, and the Phillies lead it by the score of 6-3. 6-3. As we go down to the bottom of the fifth, and a pinch hitter coming in for the Giants. And the pinch hitter will be a right-hander, you would think. And it's going to be Steve Scarsoni. So Scarsoni is going to pinch hit for Brantley against Danny Jackson. So Scarsoni will step in for the pinch hitting duty. Phillies lead at 6-3 now. 6 unanswered runs. 1-1-6. 1-1. One 6. 1-1's a 25. 1-6 is a 4 for a 29. It's a single off the pitcher's glove and a possible error. Check the pitcher error rating. He's a 21. Could be an error. And it is. It's a 42. So we get a single plus an error. And that will put Scarsoni at second base to start the inning. So Scarsoni, a pinch hit single, and then reaches second on the E1. So single plus an E1. That's the third error by the Phillies. Of course, he had 2 by Stocker early. This one, Danny Jackson. And that brings up Darren Lewis. 1-2-4. 1-2 is a 3. 1-4 is a 3. That's a strikeout. That's 6 total in column 1 is a strikeout. Big strikeout there. 1 away for Robbie Thompson. Thompson. 6-3-3. 6-3 is a 16. 6-3 is a 1. Total 17. That is a deep fly to left. That is out number 2. So 2 down. Scarsoni still at second for Will the Thrill. 3-1-4. 3-1 is a 4. 3-4 is a 3. That's a total of 7. That's a base hit to left field. Will it be enough to bring the run home? Single to left. Go to third base coach. Third base coach on a single to left field. Let's check the arm and the speed. Both are a 3. Left fielder Thompson. I'll show you his card real quick. Thompson has a throwing arm of 3 in the parentheses there. And the base runner, Scarsoni, has a speed of 3. There's a 3 right there. So 3 and a 3 means we're at a 0. You're at a 0 when it's to left field going home. There is no adjustment. So we're right here in this number 0 column. We rolled 2 D6s. We get a 5, and that is an XB. So that means lead runner is safe. So lead runner is safe. RBI single from Will Clark. Pinch hitter Scarsoni will score. Cuts the lead to 6-4. And now Matt Williams, the batter. He is the tying run. 2-1-6. 2-1 is a 39, and 2-6 is a 4. Total of 44 in column 2. That's going to be a ground out, and that's going to end the inning. Ground out to end the inning. So a run comes in for the Giants. They cut the lead to 6-4. And now we need a new pitcher. Do the Giants. And it's going to be all for Danny Jackson, too, I believe. He's gone 5 innings, but now he's reached his fatigue, so they will summon a new pitcher with the Phillies as well. For the Phillies in the top half of the inning, it's Kruk, Hollins, Dalton, and Eisenreich, a whole bunch of lefties. So they're going to go to the other lefty out of the bullpen, Kevin Rogers. Their second lefty out of the pen will be on to face John Kruk. So Rogers will get the call. Start the top of the sixth in a 6-4 ball game. Kruk, 6-2 is an 8. 6-4 is a 1. Total of 9. That'll be a single for John Kruk. So Kruk gets the job done with a leadoff single. Infield now halfway. And now that'll bring up Mr. Hollins. 2-2. That's an 11. You can't stop that most times. 2-5 is a 1. Total of 12 in column 2. And a 12 in column 2 is a base hit. Single to left field. Kruk will stop at second base. So runners at first and second. Rogers has not done the job. Here comes Darren Dalton. 1-2-6. 1-2 is a 1. 1-6 is a 2. Total of 3 for a strikeout, and that's a big strikeout there for one away. Comes Eisenreich. Again, another lefty, but they love his defense, so they're not going to take him out. If they were behind, they'd pinch hit, but not when they're ahead. 6-1-2. 6-1 is a 16. 6-2 is a 1. Total of 17. It's a deep fly to left for out number 2. And now the infield can go back to normal for Kevin Stocker. I'm sorry, for Milt Thompson, rather. Stocker is on deck. Thompson is your batter, another lefty. 4-1 is a 2. 4-4 is a shortstop, and Clayton will make that play. To end the inning. Nothing doing for the Phils in the sixth as Rogers did his job. We go to the bottom of the sixth. And the Phillies will be bringing on a new pitcher. I don't think there will be a double switch, though. They're going to bring in somebody just to pitch 1 inning and then pinch hit for him. You got Bonds, but they're going to go to a lefty, David West, out of the bullpen. Because you do have Bonds and Martinez coming up. So West, his one job is to get through the 6th inning. That's all they want him to do, is get through the 6th inning. And here we go. Barry Bonds against West, 6-4 Phillies, bottom of the 6th. 3-3-2. 3-3 is a 32. 3-2 is a 1. Total of 33. That's a line out to left field, 1 away to start the inning. And 3 is the hit column on pitchers, but David West has a 1 in all this column, so he's going to take away some hits. If he rolls that column 3, the batters are in trouble. Here's Dave Martinez. 6-4-1. 6-4 is a 59. 6-1 is a 1. Total of 60. That's a single to left field. So Dave Martinez with the leadoff single. Now the tying run is coming to the plate, and Royce Clayton. Royce Clayton, tying run. And it gets that dreaded 2-2. That's going to be a base hit. 2-2-5. That's going to be a single to... I take that back. It's not going to be a base hit because he has the asterisk in his column here. And asterisk, and I'll show it in the chart on column 2, that's the one time that the number 11 is not going to be a base hit automatically. Because if you have an asterisk besides column 2 grade and the result is a 12-16, it's a pop out to first base. Well, that's an 11, that's a 1, so that totals a 12, and he has the asterisk. The W doesn't come into play unless you get a 12-16 with the bases empty. So only when the bases are empty does it change to a ball. So this is a pop out to first for out number 2. So that's why I had it on the computer. The computer fixed me on that one. I was getting ready to give him a hit, but that asterisk. So West is tough. You can see it here. He takes a lot of hits away in column 3 with this, and takes away some stuff here with those asterisks. So he does get in trouble with base on balls sometimes, though. So here's Manwaring. 2-5-6. 2-5 is a 4. 2-6 is a 1. Total of 5. That's a strikeout to end the inning. So West did his job. And that's going to do it for the G-Man here in the 6th. West is done. He will be pinch hit for in the next inning. Kevin Rogers is going to come out. I do believe. And the Phillies will need a pinch hitter after the Giants make a pitching change. So the Giants are going to Mike Jackson. So Mike Jackson will be the new pitcher. And let's see what the Phillies do to counter as a pinch hitter. They will use, I don't know why I have I didn't update these to be right-handed. I don't know why I have them as left-handed. That was a snafu. The only lefty they have is Longmire, so they're not going to use him. So they're going to have to go to a right-hander off the bench. And they will go to Pete Incaviglia to pinch hit for the Phillies. Actually, no, I take it back. He is not scheduled to pinch hit. It's Kevin Stocker is going to lead off. My bad. Stocker is your leadoff man because Thompson made the last out last inning. So it's going to be Stocker, then Incaviglia. So I stand corrected. Computer gets me straight again. All right, 5-3-2 for Kevin Stocker. 5-3 is a 5. 5-2 is a 1. Total of 6. And that's going to be a walk. So a leadoff walk. And they're going to play halfway with a double play. Not going to play for a bunt because you got Incaviglia coming up there. So you know he's not going to bunt. So Incaviglia. Mr. Incaviglia will be up against Mike Jackson. 3-2-3. 3-2 is a 2. 3-1 is a, 3-3 is a 1. Total of 3. And that is a dribbler to the catcher. It's a fielder's choice. So the runner on first is out. Incaviglia, the new runner at first. So the out's going to go 2-6 on the fielder's choice for out number 1. And back to the top of the order, and Darren Lewis. I'm sorry, and Lenny Dykstra. 6-6-5. 6-6 is a 9. 6-5 is a 3. Total of 12, but we're going to the ballpark card. Dykstra is a lefty. So we use the very top row and roll 1d6 to see what happens. It's a 2. So that number 9 will now change to a 7. So it's a 7 plus the 2 comes to be a 9. And that'll be a base hit. Single to center field. Incaviglia will stop at second base. So runners are at first and second with 1 out. And that will send up Mickey Morandini. 6-5-2. 6-5 is a 31. 6-2 is a 2. Total of 33. Pop up to second base for out number 2. And Morandini is retired. So Morandini is out. 2 down for John Kruk. Jackson has to get Kruk to keep the Phillies from blowing this thing wide open. And that's not a good way to do it. 6-6-1. 6-6 is a 9. That's a 2, total of 11. But right now, that ballpark, again, with the lefty, come up to this top row. Well, a 2 becomes to 7. So that becomes a 7 now, and a 2 is a 9. So that's going to be a base hit. Question is, will the run score? And Cavilla, according to the computer, will score, and Dykstra will take the extra base. Going by what the computer shows. So that's an RBI single for John Kruk. I guess it was 2 outs. That was the reasoning. So a 2-out RBI single for John Kruk. Dykstra does take third. Scoring is the pinch runner, or pinch hitter rather, in Cavilla. And it is now 7-4 Phillies with Dave Hollins, the batter. Jackson to Hollins, 1-1-6. 1-1 is a 1, 1-6 is a 1. That's a strikeout to end the inning. But the Phillies nickel and diming the Giants. Now lead it by the score of 7-4 as we go to the 7th inning stretch. And the Phillies will, of course, need a new pitcher. Mike Jackson is done for the Giants. For the Giants, it'll be a pinch hitter for Mike Jackson. But first, the Giants, or the Phillies, have to declare a pitcher here in the 7th. And they are going to declare, they're going to use Bobby Thigpen, who they acquired from the White Sox. So Thigpen is your pitcher. So that means the Giants will go with a lefty off the bench. They're going to go with a switch hitter, Todd Benzinger. So Todd Benzinger will pinch hit for Mike Jackson. So we have Thigpen, and then we have Benzinger pinch hitting for Mike Jackson. 7-4, bottom of the 7th. 4-6-2. 4-6 is a 16. 4-2, and it's going to be, he's a fly ball pitcher. So we're going to move from column 4 to column 6 in the batter side. So this 4-6 now becomes a 6-6. So basically turns everything to a 6. So it's a 6-6-2. So we got a 9 here and a 1 here, but we're in the ballpark area. He is a switch batting left, so once again we're in this top row, and we're going to see what happens. It's a 6. That's a 10. 10 and a 1, total of 11. So that could be a home run, but most likely a single. If you roll a 6, it's a home run. Anything else, it's a single. It's a single for Todd Benzinger. So Benzinger, a pinch hit single to start things off for the G-men, and they definitely needed that. No question about it. Infield halfway, and top of the order, Darren Lewis. So that's where the fly ball pitcher comes into play. Almost gave up a home run, but did not. And here is Darren Lewis. 2-1-1. 2-1's a 38. 2-1 is a 40. Is a 4, which is a 42. It's a ground ball to short, but the runner will move to second. The only play is to first base. So Stocker will throw to first for the out to get Lewis, but Benzinger will take second. 6-3 on the ground out with the runner advancing. Infield now back to normal for Robbie Thompson. 1-1-4. 1-1's a 15. 1-4 is a 4, total of 19. That's a single plus an error. It's hit to the hole at second base. Hurry up throw may be wild. We're checking the error rating of Morandini, who is a 62. So Morandini is 62. So this has to be higher than 62 to be an error. It is not. So it's not going to be an error. But it will be an infield single, and that will put runners on the corners. Giants have the tying run at the plate in Will the Thrill Clark. 7-4 Phillies lead it, but the Giants are threatening. Runners are at the corners with 1 out, and Will Clark, the batter, who's 2 for 3 on the day. Infield is back for the double play. 6-3-6. 6-3-6. 6-3 is a 16. 6-6 is a 4. Total of 20. That's a deep fly to right. That'll be deep enough to score the run. Sacrifice fly from Will Clark cuts the lead to 7-5. Coming in to score is the pinch hitter, Benziger. He will score. Sacrifice fly to right field for Will the Thrill. And that brings up Matt Williams. It's now 7-5. Williams is the tying run at the plate now with 2 outs. 6-4, and against a right-hander, that's a 59. It could have been a possible home run against a lefty. 6-3 is a 2, total of 61. So 6-4-3. That is a 61, and that's a double into the corner. Robbie Thompson goes from first to third. The computer says he cannot move up any further. So a 60, total of 61 in column 6. Says double into the corner with 2 outs, runner with 4 or 5 speed scores from first. Well, Will Clark only has a speed of 3. That's why he did not score. So Clark only can make it to third, which is huge. So second and third for Barry Bonds. And boy, Thigpen is in trouble. He's on the ropes. Larry Anderson is in the bullpen waiting to come in, but they're going to give Thigpen one more shot here against Barry Bonds. Oh, and that was trouble. 6-6 is an 11. 6-4 is a 2. That is long, and that is gone. The Giants have just taken the lead. A 3-run shot for Barry Bonds. A very Appa-like 6-6 result. Nobody could have stopped that, really. It is long, and it is gone. Home run Bonds. And the Giants now lead it 8-7. They've come all the way back to lead at 8-7. Thigpen is now out of there as he got battered from pillar to post. And now they will bring in Roger Mason, a righty. Instead of Anderson, since they're behind, they will use Mason. So Roger Mason is aboard to try to get this final out and move it on to the 8th inning. Give his team a chance. Martinez, 4-2-5. 4-2 is a 2. 4-5 is the shortstop, and that'll be a good play for Stocker to end the inning. But a 4 spot for the Giants, capped off by a 3-run homer from Barry Bonds. And at the end of 7, it is San Francisco 8 and the Phillies 7 here in a critical game 4 to see who, if they tie the series or take a 3-1 lead. So now the Giants will turn in their bullpen to Dave. Well, do they go with Rod Beck to try to get a 6-out save? That's the question. Do you go to Rob Beck to try to get a save? They're going to go with Dave Burba. And if he gets in any kind of trouble, you will see Rod Beck. But right now it is Burba. Going to be coming into the ball game facing Dutch Dalton. They use both their lefties, so there's no lefties they can go to at this point. So Dalton now starting the top of the 8th against Burba. 4-2-4. 4-2 is a 19. 4-4 is a shortstop. Clayton, that's a 21. So as opposed to 20, now a 1 or a 6 is out. Everybody else is safe. That's a 6, so he's going to be out of there. So Dalton is out. Got a tough break there, Mr. Dalton, but he is out. And that brings up Eisenreich. Eisenreich against Burba. 3-4, that's a possible rare play. And that is a rare play with a 5, so we're going to roll on the rare play chart. And I need to get the rare play chart out. So we go to the rare play chart with the bases empty. And we roll the red and white die. We get a 7. So the bases are empty. Rare play, bases empty, and a 7. And there is 1 out. Looping drive to center field. Roll 1 die against outfielder's defensive rating. If die is not higher, outfielder makes a fine running catch. Option: subtract 1 from the defensive rating of the visitors, add 1 to the home. So we're going to add 1 to the home. And that's going to make this an automatic catch, because if you look at the center fielder, Darren Lewis, actually it's not an automatic catch. He's a 4, it turns to a 5. So the only way this drops in for a hit is if we roll a 6. And we don't. So by bumping it up and using that optional rule for the home fielder, that took the hit away from Jim Eisenreich. So nice play there. Nice play there. On a looping drive to center field. And Lewis makes the fine running catch for out number 2. And Milt Thompson is your batter. 2-6-6. We're in the shaded area for the fielder, for the ballpark. Column 2 right up here. So right now it's a 2. The 6 over here will not really matter. It's going to determine the fielder, which is the right fielder. So we're looking at Dave Martinez. Dave Martinez, his range is a 3. So if this stays a 1 or a 2, he'll make the catch. If it goes to 3 or higher, he will not make the catch. And then up here, in order for it to become a 3 or higher, we have to roll a 5 or a 6. So 1 to 4, he makes the catch. 3 to 6, he is, or 5 to 6, he does not. It's a 1, he will make the catch to end the inning. So 1-2-3 inning for Burba, as he takes care of things. And that does set it up for Rod Beck in the 9th. No question about it. Burba did his job. Now Mason is back out, and he'll be facing Clayton, Manwaring, and a pinch hitter for Burba. Most likely will be Reed. Clayton, 4-2 is a 2. 4-2 there, second baseman. That's an easy play for Mr. Morandini. 1 away. Clayton is retired. Brings up Kurt Manwaring. Five, 4, 6. 5-4 is a 2 with a J. And a 5-6 is a 4. It's a total of 6. That's going to be a walk. And we're going to action chart J. And action chart J talks about stolen bases, balks, caught stealings, all sorts of things. We roll a 4. And a 4 says that it's going to be a steal attempt. So when you're J, it means a plus. So we go to plus and says stolen base or caught stealing. If blue die is higher than catcher's defensive rating, it's a stolen base. Okay, so we got to roll against the catcher's rating with the blue die. Catcher rating, Darren Dalton, is a 4. So he's a 4. And it says if blue die is higher than catcher's defensive rating, stolen base. So if it's a 4 or if it's a 5 or a 6, he steals. 1 to 4, he's out. He's out. So caught stealing. So he is caught stealing. So for Clayton, he is caught stealing. That is out. I'm sorry, for Manwaring, he's caught stealing. That's out number 2. So caught stealing. 2 up and 2 down. And now we get the pinch hitter, which will be Jeff Reed, their backup catcher. Jeff Reed will be on, and Rod Beck is ready in the bullpen for the 9th inning. So let's get Reed into the game as a pinch hitter. against Mason. 2 out space is clear. 5-2-5. 5-2 is a 1 with a K. 5-5 is a 3, total of 4. That's a ground ball to short, so the action chart K won't come into play. It's just a 6-3 ground out to end the inning. So we go to the 9th. Last chance for the Phillies. If they want to take a 3-1 lead, Giants looking to even the series at 2 apiece. And they're bringing out the best they have, Rod Beck. So Rod Beck is on. Try to shut the door. He's their last pitcher, as they've used everybody. So it's Beck or bust here at this point. For the Phillies, it's Stocker, Stocker, a pinch hitter for Mason, and then Dykstra. So Stocker will lead it off. The pinch hitter coming up. Let's see who that's going to be for the Phillies. Who do they have that they want to come out there? Could be Chamberlain. It could be Ricky Jordan. Could be Mariano Duncan. Let's see. Actually, Ricky Jordan has the best average at 289, so that's who it'll be. So we got Stocker, Ricky Jordan, and Lenny Dykstra due up against Rod Beck. Top of the 9th, 8-7 Giants. 5-1-2. 5-1 is a 4. 5-2 is a 1. It's a total of 5. And that will be a ground ball to third for out number 1, as Matt Williams takes care of Mr. Stocker. And that brings up the pinch hitter, Ricky Jordan. So Jordan, see if he can capture lightning in a bottle against Mr. Beck. 6-5-2, and that's a 36. That's a strikeout. So Ricky Jordan out on strikes. And this takes us to our last out for the Phillies' last chance, Lenny Dykstra. He is the last chance. 3-1-6. This could do it. 3-1-6. 3-1 is a 31. 3-6 is a 2. Total of 33. Fly to center field, and there's your ball game. Rod Beck seals the deal for the Giants as they defeat the Phillies by the score of 8-7. Be right back with the totals. Okay, final line score to wrap this one up from Candlestick Park. For the Giants, 8 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and 4 left. For the Phillies, 7 runs, 12 hits, 3 errors, and 12 left. They did leave the bases loaded in the first. I can remember that, and they've also obviously left a lot of guys on base. With runners in scoring position, the Philadelphia Phillies in this game were 3 for 19. That's 3 for 19, whereas the Giants were 4 for 9. That was the difference in the ball game, is what they did with runners in scoring position. Player of the game, Barry Bonds, his 3-run homer in the bottom of the 7th put the Giants ahead to stay. And even the series at 2 games apiece. And now critical game 5, final game at Candlestick. It'll be Curt Schilling against Bill Swift, rematch of game 1. Curt Schilling and Bill Swift. So Giants won that game, and behind Bill Swift, so the Phillies have their work cut out for them to try to beat Bill Swift here in Candlestick in a pitcher's park, tailor-made for Bill Swift. So Phillies could be in trouble, although they would be going. They're guaranteed to go back at least and play one more game in Philadelphia. At least game 6 would be back in Philly, and if it goes to 7, of course, that will be in Philly also. Next game on the channel will be Game 4 of the American League Championship Series of 1993. Between the White Sox and the Blue Jays. Blue Jays lead that series 2-1. Game 4 from Toronto will be the next one on the video. Don't know when that will be because I'm recording this on a Thursday night. Friday night I'm going to a football game. Saturday I've got other things to do. Sunday I've got family time, so I may not record again until Monday or Tuesday. But I at least want to get one game out there. I might try to sneak something on Saturday, perhaps. Saturday evening, maybe sneak that game in so I can get something out without such a big pause. But anyway, first game back in a while, and it showed, I'm sure. A little rusty, but trying to get back at it. And, of course, replay baseball is, I'm not as proficient in that as I am, say, in payoff pitch or inside pitch or Stratomatic. So little bit of a learning curve when you haven't played in a while. That's why I had the computer up there to help me. It did catch me on a couple of mistakes I was going to make or things I was going to overlook that I need to watch out for, like those asterisks in the column 2 of the picture and things like that. So little idiosyncrasies the computer did help me out on. But overall, very interesting game. Phillies thought they had it. They were up 7-4 going to the bottom of the 7th, but boy, Bobby Thigpen came in and put gasoline on whatever fire might have been there and just blew up in his face, and Barry Bonds made him pay. So that's it from here. Game 4 in the books. Series knotted at 2 apiece. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.